Futures Trader Elite here this morning on 9/23 for our NQ Premarket Prep. We are going to pull up the chart here. We're going to be looking at the 15-minute. And we really don't have a lot to go over as far as to the top side. So let's look at that first. If you use the pivots, you get your R1 pivot at almost 25,100, and then R2 is at pretty much 25,200, and that's all we're going to really discuss as far as the upside until we see what happens when the market opens. But we got some things mapped out to the downside if we're looking for some bounce plays, or you can see we got this zone box up here, which is marked in. And if this opens up and this breaks to the upside, then you just kind of got to go with the flow and either think about shorting first reaction at the pivot up there, depending on how fast it gets there, versus is it a buy the dip day, maybe throw you on a trend line on 1 or the 5-minute chart, say like this. And if it's a buy the dip day, every time it gets close to that trend line, you buy. We just got to wait until the market opens and see what happens. As far as to the downside, we got this zone box I put in here. It's not a big zone box. It is at from about 906 to 921, but it's right under that golden pivot point. So for me, say you wanted to play this short, as you can see the sell signal been put in on the 15-minute right here, and it's already bouncing that way. But this candle could end up coming back down this way. But say this comes to the downside, first reaction at the pivot there is at 924, plus the zone box is under it. So I would definitely be playing that. Then I put this green line in under that because I went back through. There's a big area zone here where I didn't have anything from this zone box to the zone box. And I put these lines in and then pulled my fibs. Well, this green line is really close to the 50% fib. This green line is really close to the 61.8. So I'm definitely going to be watching them lines. That green line is at 896, about 10 points ahead of the 50% fib. And this green line is at about 861, which is about a little more than 10 points ahead of the 61.8. And then if we didn't get a bounce here, I'd be thinking this zone box, the support one pivot is at 820, which is about 25 points ahead of this zone box. But I like this zone box for a pullback. I guess I need to get some trend lines on here. I didn't realize. Let's switch this over to the 1 hour and see what we're looking at. Okay, so yeah, let's grab us a line. We'll start it back here and drop it up here somewhere and then go clean it up on the 15-minute. Okay, we're going to change that to green. And see this, we're on the 15-minute chart, but this line is the exact same as it would be on the 1 hour right now. So it's a 1 hour trend line. And then let's widen this up. See what we're looking at here. So if we can come down and break this line, see how that golden pivot, if this were to come down in this area, it wouldn't take much for it to get down to the golden pivot point. I'd be looking for that as a bounce play. If we found the bounce play there, you know, depending on how the market reacts, you could be thinking entry down here, exit at this zone box up here. You can see all this confluence price right here. You know, if it breaks through that, I would be cautious at this green line, depending on how it's set up when the market opens. I might be a little cautious at that green line and a little more willing to take the trade here maybe at the next green line. It's just everything's up, you know, so you're going to have to be careful with this confluence as far as when we come back to it for the bounce, because it's all fresh. There's nothing to the left with these all-time highs, you know. And so it'll be kind of first time testing. All we can go by is the fact that we got consolidation and confluence price and with some indicators, and that they broke areas, like breaking out of this box up to this box, broke out up to this box, consolidated. But that don't mean this has got to catch it when it drops. This could just come all the way down. I mean, let's see if we can find a spot here. This is all new highs. And see that yellow line down there. I wouldn't be surprised for us to find a drop down to this 4 hour line down here somewhere in this area. I mean, maybe not today, but maybe by the end of the week. I don't know. We'll see. That's a 600 area, but who knows? Those are some levels I'll be updating throughout the day in the live updates channel as much as I can. If I see things coming and setting up, and if I see different zones than what we discussed here on pre-market. And see you guys in the Discord. If this is your first time, smash that like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, while you're notified when they come out, and come join us in the Discord for free.